Check it out, I added something new to the wall. I'm always coming up with ideas, so I thought it made sense to have an idea bulb in the background. Cheesy, maybe, but I like it and that's all that matters. But yeah, you didn't click on this video for that. You want to hear about what else I have new on the wall. Well, if you follow me on social, you probably saw this already, but earlier this week, I finally received my first ever large prints to hang in our house. Now, I've had other photos of mine printed and seen them hung in other people's homes, such as wedding shots and portraits. Heck, even a cool blue moonshot that was an anniversary gift for good friends of mine. But never have I printed anything that was this large and hung in our own home's walls. Originally, I was going to try and record the whole unboxing thing and share my experience, thoughts, emotions as I laid sight on these images for the first time, but my allergies have been nuts lately, and yeah, trust me, you don't want to hear me sniffling and sneezing nonstop on camera anyways. So yeah, let's go downstairs and check it out. By the way, check this out. This is a painting one of my good friends did and gifted us. And look at how nice that matches on that wall. Beautiful. And here they are. So I decided to go with some of my travel photography, specifically cities at night with reflections. And from left to right, we've got Boston, Copenhagen, and San Diego. All of these were taken in different years on different Sony APS-C cameras, because that's pretty much all I've ever owned. But also, these were taken during different stages of my photography journey, with San Diego being the oldest and most significant one. You see, this one was taken shortly after I started learning to shoot in manual back in 2015. I was at a tech conference trip and was walking back late one night to the hotel that was along the bay, and that's when I saw this scene before me. I didn't even have my camera. It was at the hotel room, but I knew I had to grab it, come back, and capture that skyline. I spent over an hour trial and erroring my settings until I dialed in that image. And it was not only a learning experience, but an eye-opener to low light and long exposure photography, and the potential to creating images that I thought was only possible with the most expensive of cameras. Anyways, I had to print it, as it's not only beautiful, but meaningful, and also happens to be the city I was born in. In any case, I'm no expert at printing photography, so I did some research to try and see if Costco was a good option. And yes, I know there are better print websites out there, but large prints get pretty pricey, and most people were satisfied with the results using Costco, so I just went ahead and did it. Now, these are printed on metal and are printed at the largest size that Costco offered, which was 24 by 36 inches. They cost $120 per image before taxes and shipping, and it ended up being a little over $400 for all three. They did come with their own mounts, which is great, and I definitely messed up getting it straight, but eventually I mounted them level, and yeah. What's cool is if you want to, you can easily rearrange them and change them out. Say you wanted to change the order or you printed more photos, no problem. They're on French cleats, I believe is what it's called. All right, so quick review on these prints if you're thinking about getting from Costco. The metal looks great. It's vibrant and contrasty, which is the look that I prefer. The corners are slightly rounded, so they're not gonna stab you. And the metal is just thick enough to not bend too easily. I've seen other prints, metal prints, that where the metal bent really easily. As for the print itself, they are almost perfect. I do have a few dark specks on that San Diego print in the sky. I think it's probably from a dirty print head, but I double checked my file on the computer screen and those dark specks are definitely not there. But you can't really notice it, just I do. I do want to say though that the biggest downside to these is the glare or reflections, if you haven't noticed already. And I knew this going in, but keep in mind, it's more obvious on darker prints like these than if you were to do a lighter print. Speaking on the images themselves, here's a few tips for what I did prior to printing. First, I made sure to re-edit and touch up as much as I could. If you are a pixel peeper, this is the time to do it. You want to make sure that everything is spot on. Now these are low ISO images and I did shoot them on a tripod, so there is very little noise and very little grain on them to begin with. But I still went back and made sure to clean up any imperfections, as all the details come out when you print this large. And even though these are 24-ish megapixel photos, which is typically fine for large print, I still went ahead and used Adobe Lightroom's super resolution feature found in the enhance menu. This might only be in Lightroom Classic, but that's what I'm using. But it helps get it extra sharp. And then when I went to export it, I make sure to max out the quality to 100 and also set output sharpening for glossy print, because they're glossy. And really that's it. If I had to do anything different, it would be to up the exposure in the edit just a bit more. These look fine on a screen, but remember your screen is lit. It's like LED light is lighting it up. So these shots turned out a little darker than expected, but check it out. If there's enough light, they look great. So yeah, for me, my next steps will be to research some nice lights and maybe put some track lighting up there and really show off the detail in these prints. So I've always heard other photographers say that you need to print your photography. And well, now I can say that I have. I don't know what it is, but I get it. It's definitely something special, something tangible. Unlike a digital image that can disappear in a few clicks or scroll off a screen in just a few seconds, this brings your vision into the real world and almost validates all the hard work you put into your craft. So I too highly recommend printing your work large at least once. Anyways, that's Ginter for now. I apologize for the slow uploads, but really do appreciate you dropping by when you do, and I hope you enjoyed sharing this experience with me and or learned something. If you did, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up button so that it gets recommended to more people. And if you want to join along on my photography journey and hear me ramble on about all things camera and tech, click that subscribe button. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.